So we're gonna try to segue all those things into that regarding
at
the
school. They knew what fraternities you were in.
Definitely wasn't an easy decision. I sat down with my dad.
Not to say I hope I make it, but to know I'll make it. See a way out through a pinhole, take a shot and make it.
All right. Welcome to another episode of I Am the Change podcast, brought to you by DTR Incorporated, a nonprofit organization geared toward uplifting, inspiring, and empowering communities all over the world. I am your host, Michael Davis, alongside the lovely Miss Sharice Lovett and Mr. Jason Redman.
hello.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Oh man, I'm enjoying life right now, man. It's been a great week.
I'm great.
It's been a great week.
Great.
Great week.
That's
Yeah,
good.
man.
That's good.
I am great. How are you?
Great. Yeah, I done had a good week. Feeling good. Yeah, just enjoying it.
So, question. I know everybody's out here talking about it. Everybody's out here having conversations about it. Either you are not a Duke or Carolina fan. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Sharice, you want to show us your shirt?
No, because my shirt has nothing to do with my fandom.
I know it doesn't have nothing to do with your fandom. But you want to show us your shirt?
So I'm a Duke fan. I have been a Duke fan since I probably started watching Duke when Christian Laettner was playing. So I am a Duke fan.
Mm-hmm.
But because
You lost a bet.
okay, so I'm wearing a Carolina shirt. And the only reason I own a Carolina shirt is because I lost a bet several years ago.
Okay.
And I bet on a Duke Carolina game. And if Carolina won, I was told I had to wear this shirt. And so Carolina won last night.
They did.
And okay. And so because I knew we were recording this, I said, Michael, who decided to call me, text me during the game and antagonize me.
Yeah.
That I felt like he would be tickled that I even owned the Carolina shirt.
Yeah.
I would wear it today. So, Michael, this is for you.
I appreciate it.
Carolina played very, very well last night. We just ran out of time. We didn't get it done in 40 minutes.
Y'all didn't hit y'all free throws.
Listen, at the end, those were clutch free throws at the end. And once we missed those, it was over.
Yeah.
It was over.
I text you like, I don't know, it might have been a minute or like 48 seconds.
It
or
was
something,
seconds left in the game, and I told you the buzzer hadn't sounded yet. And as soon as I said that, he missed his free throws, and I was like, "Dang it, the game is over."
Damn. I was like, "Yep, you know what time it is." See, yeah.
Yes. No.
Yeah,
great game, well played. I am going for Kansas in the finals. That is my pick. I know I told you Carolina, but I just can't do it.
You can't do it. Carolina gonna win it though.
Okay, and you know what? Then I would have lost again to you. But I'm going for Kansas in the finals, and that's what I'm sticking to.
So I don't really have a dog in this fight, but I think there's going to be what little I watched of the Kansas Villanova game. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Kansas plays all out, total team basketball. I think the catalyst for Carolina is Caleb Love, and if Caleb Love is off, it's a long night.
Yeah, I can see that. It is going to be a long night.
We're going to talk about last night's game too. But Jason, are you a Duke or Carolina fan?
Neither.
You want to pick one?
No, I don't.
Yeah, man, you gotta pick a side, man.
I'm a Texans. I got out of the tournament early. So when Texas Tech lost to Villanova, I was done.
Because you were rooting for all Texas teams at that point.
All Texas teams. Yep.
Okay.
Texas Tech lost to Duke. Houston lost to Villanova. So the teams that knocked my teams out, they're home too. So I think it's gonna be a good basketball game. I think Carolina played a very I really want to be honest. I want Hubert Davis to get a ring. First year coach could get a ring. I really want the black coach to win. So
yeah.
But I think it's gonna be a good game. I don't think it's gonna be an easy win. But
it's gonna be foul.
Oh, they're gonna have to fight hard.
Listen,
they have to fight hard for that.
They were talking about all the guys that transferred when Hubert Davis got the job. I was like, wow. It was like three. Yeah. It was like 3 names they mentioned that transfer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he built. I mean, like, you know how you have building years. He had building games, and they showed up and showed out. Yeah, I give props where props are due. Carolina came to play, and they played.
They did.
I'm gonna tell you who I can't stand. We already know who Michael's team is, so we're not even talking about that. So, how you pronounce his name, Michael? Right. Baycoat.
Oh, number 5.
I can't stand him.
Why?
Why not?
He's a dirty player because you know that foul was not on my boy.
He didn't touch
his 4th foul in the first half.
Oh yeah.
When he had the ball and he did just like this.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw that.
And that's why he missed his free throws. The ball don't lie.
I'm not a ref, so you know I can't control that. But you're right, the ball don't lie. Yeah, that was wild. It was some calls that was questionable, especially like they called a call on fouling on Duke against our point guard, and he didn't touch him. I mean, it was so much space between them. I was like, geez.
Right, okay. And I think, and it's like, the calls, they were so inconsistent. Either you're gonna let them play tight, or you're gonna wear that whistle out. But you can't pick and choose when you're gonna let them play, or you're gonna wear that whistle out.
I know.
It's like, because then it throws the game. Because it's like, am I guarding heavy or am I not? So
that was a huge call. I think that changed the course of the game because he did hit those free throws, and without that, it might have went in overtime.
Nah, you know how I knew the game wasn't going to go into overtime? When hit that 3-pointer at the top of the key.
Ooh, yeah, that was cold.
Yeah.
That was clutch. It was like a cold. 2 on the clock, clutch. Like that thing, he hit that shot, and I was like, yeah, this game. And because had Duke hit their free throws the previous time down the court,
we would have been up by 1.
No, I think y'all have been tied.
No, they would have been up by 1. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure.
Spoken from a person who went to sleep.
No, I didn't go sleep. But man. Hey, I think I think that was clutch. Matter of fact, what's number 45 names for Carolina? Because he missed 2 free throws early in the second half, or late in the second half too.
Yeah, which I was happy about. Let's go ahead and pull up their roster.
Well, I'm pulling up stats right now.
From the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to just talk about Coach K. Because at the end of the day, we got to give Coach K his props. Oh, Jason.
No.
I'm even though I'm not a complete hater. He had a good
stellar
coach. He's a great coach.
He did.
He's a great coach. It sucks he had to go out on that L.
Man.
By the boys, but he was a great coach.
All they talked about was Coach K. I'm like, I ain't hating, but I'm not hating at all. But you got to give Hubert Davis some love too. Like he took an average.
Oh nah.
No, he has coached that team.
Yeah.
Has coached that team.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't even realize that of his ties to Carolina. That lets you know how separate I am from Carolina. I didn't realize that he went there. He met his wife there.
Davis. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Go deep.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Hubert Davis. We share the last name, so you know he's gonna be great when he stepped into the position. He might be my cousin. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna be your cousin today.
Yeah, today he is.
Today's your cousin. Yeah. Lose the national championship.
Yeah. Hey, but you was talking about Manic that missed those free throws.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but he made it up though. He dropped a couple clutch threes.
He did. I'm just saying, had he hit those, to me, when you miss free throws, you change the course of the game, because again, when they're free, you're shooting basically by yourself. Your shot's not being altered. You're not being harassed. You're not being pressured. Just shoot the ball. Shoot the ball, focus on the rim, and go in. But when you miss those free throws, man, it changes.
It's invisible pressure.
Yeah, it is.
I don't care what you say.
Championship game.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Late in the second half.
I have been on the line in close games, and you were like this. I mean,
yeah,
stomach and knots.
For real. You gotta like zone out, try to block everything
Everybody
out.
And you know the fans there are ridiculous.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
They're going crazy.
But you said that's what they signed up for, huh?
That's what they signed up for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially if they want to go to that next level. Like that's like this is the time to prove like the average player from the greats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So how many players do you think off Carolina team is gonna go pro next year? Let's say Carolina wins the national championship tomorrow.
Jason, what you mean?
Oh my gosh, Curry.
So wait, I forget who were seniors.
Your leftovers from yesterday.
Yes, from the Villanova Kansas game. When I was tailgating. Day game. Well, let's not forget. Who is it? South Carolina plays tonight.
I am watching that game. South Carolina plays.
You play Louisville?
No, they play. Is it Connecticut? Nope, Connecticut.
Is Connecticut?
Today at 8:00.
Okay. South Carolina plays Connecticut.
Yes, Don Staley and Gino.
Who y'all got?
I got South Carolina all day.
Yeah, I'm going with South Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm going with South Carolina. You asked who I think is going to go to the league.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to look up some seniors. I don't know. I think Baycott might. He a junior, but
they only had to say only 1 year, right?
1 year.
Yeah.
1 year. I think Caleb Love league. Yeah. If they win the national championship, I think Caleb Love.
Oh yeah, Love. I mean, yeah, he probably will go. He only a sophomore, but he's nice.
Yeah, I think Love. What's the center's name? Is it Baycott?
Baycott, yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah, he'll probably go.
Love Baycott.
He a junior, but he'll probably go.
What's the white boy with the long hair? 45.
Manic.
I think Manic's gone. I think
yeah.
there's 3 of them.
Yeah, Manic's a senior anyway, so
yeah,
he's out last year. He going. Yeah. You know, they got to get. I feel like he gonna have to toughen up for the NBA. Manic.
Yeah. Hey, he can step out there and pull that Dirk Nowitzki 3. So he's, to me, he's got that game. He can focus on that game first, and then they say get tougher, work in the paint. But if you can pull him out of the paint, if I can pull your defender out of the paint, and I can shoot a 3, or
how tall is he?
He's 6'9".
Yeah.
But I'm talking defensively though, because who was it? Williams on Duke was giving him work down low. I mean, was giving him work.
Yeah.
He was. I
mean, if he's 6'9", he'll guard like the KDs,
and they're fast.
Yeah,
they're gonna leave him standing there. He gonna be like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't think he comes out. I don't think he just gets drafted and is expected to be that guy his first year. I think he's a spot player. Like he'll come off the bench, get you about a good 12 minutes. 12 minutes for the game. 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
Until he's able to, get tougher, get bigger, get stronger in the paint. Like I thought Mason Plumlee, his first year really wasn't doing all that great. I think he's gotten better as he's gotten years under his belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody that I was really disappointed with was Rivers. I thought he was gonna be better than that.
Man, I knew he was gonna be a bum. Well, not really a bum, but not really a bum. But it's just like I don't know. I didn't really think the work ethic with it was there.
Yeah, I thought he should have stayed one more year because I thought he needed that year development personally.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he had the potential.
Well,
if he'd have just got in there and grinded, but he ain't. I just didn't see the work ethic.
Like in college, man, he hit him with man. He was dropping them daggers on him, but when he got to the pros, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. And I'm not a basketball fan, so I mean, but I knew when I saw a couple of games he played in, he wasn't lighting it up.
Yeah.
But somebody that started slow and got hot in their career was JJ Redick.
Get out my head. I was just thinking about him.
Yeah.
Redick got hot when
he is a quiet assassin.
Oh my God. And then they said he wasn't, they was like, he ain't going to do what he did in college. And it took him a while, like you said, but yeah.
He was slow.
He
did his thing. When he got going, he was fired.
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
His defense stepped up and everything. Like he was, he was a strong player.
Yeah. I thought he got better as he went along. I don't want to keep going back down the list of Duke players and making sure we're mad on the ones I think that.
I'm not. Let me tell you. After I got off the phone with Michael last night, I was okay. It was the initial, and then the phone rings like I don't even think the buzzer had got done being blown at the end of the game.
It just finished, and I had the number. I was ready to push it.
Yeah, I was like, God.
Yeah.
So I answered the phone with a little explicitives, but it was.
Yeah, few explicitives.
I mean, it was a hard-fought game.
It was. I don't think either. So they some guys and I were talking. They were saying whoever wins that game is going to win a national championship. So I was like, okay, I can see it.
Now I will say the hunger in the fight Carolina has right now. But the game started off so. Michael and I were talking about that. It started off so slow, and we don't know like it was the nerves or what. I was just like, this is crazy.
I can imagine on playing on that big stage. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Carolina's a young team too, aren't they?
I mean, not any younger than Duke.
Not too young. Yeah, I mean, sort of. I mean, Love is a sophomore. He's basically leading the team. So yeah, I guess in that aspect,
if you got a sophomore leading the team, hey. But again, I think you got the bright lights to make you when you like the unknown can make it hard for you just to jump out there and just do, play like in the playground. The lights are brighter, the fans are louder.
The venue is him, and they played in the Superdome.
Yeah.
The venue is huge.
Yeah. You're playing the basketball court on a football field.
Right. Yeah. Steps to get up on the court. It was so neat. It was.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it's like one of the biggest rivalries. This is bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like they were kind of like they weren't playing their game completely in the first half, and then they came out and started getting a little bit more comfortable and taking the shots they would normally take. You know what I'm saying, to being comfortable with them. So yeah.
But that last 3-pointer by Love was a dagger. He hit that 3-pointer. He could have looked over at Coach K and been like, "Yeah, you going home tonight." Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. I almost want to be. I would have loved to have been a fly on the ball, sitting there on the Duke bench when he hit that 3, just to hear what Coach K said. Because I know he said something. He had to say something. Because I know if that had been me on that sideline, I'd have been like, "Man, what?" I'd have had all kinds of explicatives.
Yeah, for sure.
He has that frown. Like, I think he's the way he can like make his eyebrows look. He looks just like the mascot. Like, I don't know. Tell me I'm lying. But if you put the Blue Devil mascot next to Coach K, they look just alike.
Coach K is gonna get us canceled. You're like, y'all not gonna talk about me on this podcast.
Yeah. Might be retired, but I'm about to retire y'all too.
Yeah. Taking somebody with me. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, for his career, I mean, I appreciate a long tenure coach out here, coaching the sport they love, doing what they do. I can appreciate it. I think about long tenure coaches like in football and like to me, the longest basketball is synonymous with Coach K.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, football is synonymous with Eddie Robinson, Joe Paterno, Bobby Bowden, coaches like that. That's football to me. That's what I think of. I mean, the coaching circle changes so much, but like I got a chance to meet Eddie Robinson, so cool man. I never got a chance to play for him, but he was a cool guy to talk to. Took a picture before a game. Matter of fact, he and my dad faced off in the Astrodome. Now my dad coached Texas Southern. Cool guy. Got a picture this day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, cool guy though. Cool guy.
That's what's up.
I think they tied that game. I didn't go to the next game. My dad said the next time they played, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same outcome. It was shellacking. Yeah, and Grambling had the ceiling. It was given it to him. Yeah. So what when you think of college basketball, Sharice and Michael, what image comes to your mind?
As far as so to me, I watch college. Like I don't watch the NBA, so I watch college basketball.
Right, I did say college basketball.
I know. So wait a minute, I was about to compare the two.
Oh, my bad.
And because when you say what image comes to mind, so to me, college basketball is just true love for the sport, where you get authentic play.
Mm-hmm. What's that word you said again?
Authentic.
Ooh, that's a big one there. Okay. All right.
I can watch college basketball all day long. After that, and I guess the NBA is so, and college basketball for both men and women to me this just good basketball.
Authentic
basketball. Is that your word for the day?
That's your word. I like big words. I like when you use big words in sentences.
Okay. Yes. It's just good. I sit in the gym all day long and watch college basketball games. I will not sit and watch NBA games all day
long. Okay. All right. What about you, Michael? What's you think of college basketball? Like what images come to your mind?
I can sort of agree with Sharice. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a bunch of bougie players, trying to I don't know, it's just different. It's like true passion. Those boys going out there and really like grinding, you know what I'm saying, and trying to reach their dreams. Once they get to the NBA, it's just, they selling it, you know what I'm saying, faking it.
They can sit on the bench and still make millions in the NBA.
I mean, yeah, I mean, say even 6 figures on the bench is like cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Play with the practice squad in practice or whatever, so but didn't they just make it so that college players can receive endorsements and all that stuff?
Yeah, the NIL, the name, image, and likeness. That's what it stands for. So you can get paid off that. Which
okay.
So I'm gonna stand on this point alone on this one. I think it hurts college sports at the Division II level, because I don't think the money would be is equal. I could be wrong, but I don't think the money is as great as it is at the Power 5 level. So my reason I say that is, if I had the opportunity to go to Alabama or Tuskegee, if I can play at Tuskegee, but I'd be on the bench at Alabama and get NIL money, I mean, I might go to Alabama and get that NIL money. I don't know that I would get the same amount at Tuskegee. So, you might not be able to get, you might not be able to come up as much financially. And so I think some people make a decision based on finances more than based on opportunities. Because I always tell my guys, when I coach my high school players, I'm like, you want to go where you want to, not go. You don't want to go where you want to go. Like, if you're gonna go somewhere and somebody wants you to come to school to play, go where they want you. Don't go where you want to go. You might want to go to Oregon, but Oregon don't want you. So you're just going to go out there for no reason and sit on the sideline for 4 years and waste your talent when a school like Miles College or Benedict might want you.
So, Jason, with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't that also depend on the person? Because it could just be that I have enough talent that I could represent a college, but I'm not trying to make it to that next level either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, again, like I said, I stand on this point alone because everybody I talk to is always on the other side of the fence. I just believe that, you know, when it comes down to this NIL, I would like to think the money is equitable across the board. That's my word for the day.
Whoa, go ahead.
Yeah. I like to think the money is equitable across the board, but unfortunately, I know that it's not. So, and NIL is new, but not just so much like Division II and HBCU athletics. Like I think Power 5 HBCU conferences like the SWAC and the MEAC,
Mm-hmm.
their NIL money deals will be equitable to like the Appalachian States, the Southwest Texas, Texas State now, those kind of schools. But when you're talking about you're trying to get money like the Alabamas and Auburns get, you know, I don't know. I know they're not there yet. So.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, I agree with that. I mean, because you got to think about the attention they get, TV, ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Right. Those players are automatically gonna get more money because it's more attention at those schools. Is yeah. So I mean that changes that does change the game all the way down to recruiting and and everything. So yeah, and then I think it's like because some of these players got the potential to be making some crazy bread. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
and it tastes like, does that take away from the passion of like the playing the game? Like I'm already getting NFL or NBA money.
Right. So I'm looking at this article that came out by Sports Illustrated, where a class of 2023 football recruit signed an NIL deal potentially worth over $8 million.
What school did you go to?
Michael, keep talking. Let me scroll down. That was just the heading.
But see, I mean, but that's crazy. $8 million for a college. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm a freshman going into college and you giving me $8 million, like, I mean, first of all, I don't even know what to do with $8 million.
What?
You know what I'm saying? I could potentially mess my whole life up with this $8 million if I don't know how to act with it. You know, I think, I don't know, it's dangerous.
But the next question too is, if I got an NIL deal for $8 million, my question is, do I still need that scholarship? Am I still getting a scholarship, or am I paying for college myself? Or is part of my NIL deal paying for my school?
So it doesn't name the player or the school. It just says the unnamed rising star will be paid $350,000 almost immediately, and then receive monthly payments that will increase to more than $2 million a year when the athlete is on campus. In exchange, he will make public appearances and play a role in social media promotions, as well as participate in other NIL activities.
Yeah. So now there, that's $350,000 up front.
Yeah.
That's still more. Do you know how many years it takes for me to make $350,000?
I mean, but so me too. The bigger picture, like Michael said, like you get the $350,000 up front and you get monthly payments. So my question though is, like, I'm not asking anybody this right now.
No, that makes sense. Like, so now is the school, because that scholarship money can then go to somebody else who really needs
it. Sure could. See, and yeah. I just learned this a couple years ago, like merit money. Like, if you got grades, like if you got a 4.6, you can go to some schools. Some schools are paid to come there and go to school. Your W-2 is going to say you're a student. Like, that's your job. But if you got a 4.6 and you get NIL money, you get merit money, can you bank to get both? Can you get NIL money, athletic money, merit money? Can you get all that together? Is that a thing?
Yeah. I mean, but it's also like, all right, I bust my butt in high school. I got the grades, I got everything I that I needed so I could get this scholarship.
Right.
So just because I'm getting this NIL money, like, is it fair that I don't get my scholarship?
Hey, I'm now
because you want the well-rounded. They always talk about the well-rounded athlete, the well-rounded person.
Oh yeah.
So I'm bringing you the grades and I'm bringing you the talent.
And I think that person, that student athlete that has the grades, that has the athletic talent, and they get an NIL deal, they should be able to cash in on all three athletes. They should be able to get all three. Now, for the scholarship part, the athletic part, you get NIL money, like, oh, come on, man, like you get $350,000 a year, like you can pay for your school.
Yeah,
but
yeah, you need
does the NIL money does it cut a check to them minus their tuition, room and board and books, and send the school money back to the school?
Wouldn't the merit scholarship take care of that part first?
Merit scholarship would. So the merit scholarship kicks in, pays everything. So they're taken care of. They don't need the athletic money. So in that case,
yeah. So that I would say get rid of the athletic scholarship, give them that NIL money, and use the scholarship towards, somebody who really
really needs it. Yeah.
But so now if they don't get a merit scholarship and they get an athletic scholarship and they get merit money. They get NIL money. Do they still get to keep the athletic scholarship? You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, it opens the door.
So you're thinking overall the NIL money should be going towards school as in some sort of aspect?
I would think so, because that's the reason why you got the money in the first place, because you're going to school to play a sport, but you're going to school to get education to play a sport. So to me, you should get the NIL money, and that money should cut a check for your school, for your tuition. And
let's see what if it's like getting the NIL money is contingent upon you getting that scholarship and stuff like that, and getting an athletic scholarship, you know what I'm saying? And they should have a stipulation within that NIL contract to say, hey, this much of your amount you making is going back to the school. If it's like, if you know what I'm saying, if getting that NIL money is contingent upon getting that athletic scholarship and all that stuff, it's like give it back, give something back,
I agree. I agree. I think that is the best way to start along student athletes to giving back to institutions, because if it wasn't for that institution taking a chance on them to play a sport, they wouldn't have that NIL money. So this is kind of like a Clemson gave you an opportunity to come here to play football or basketball or baseball or whatever, and now you got NIL money. So hey, you got this $350,000 check. We're gonna take your tuition out and we're gonna give you the difference, but you wouldn't have got it had you not played that sport. But you also learn how to start giving back. Because when you graduate as an alum, you can give back to your school. Because to me, that's the one thing that me as an HBCU alum, I had to learn early. Like, hey, you can't just think that the school is going to run without you giving back to it. Somebody gave back while you was there, so you got to do the same thing.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah,
that should be. Maybe that's what the NIL is doing, because what Therese said, there was like social media, appearances, all this different stuff. So it might be some charitable events inside of that.
That they gotta go to.
Yeah, and then it can also be a good thing, because now you got media trained athletes coming out of college.
They know what to and not to say, or do.
Yeah, and then they're disciplined, not acting a fool while they on that stage, and they already know how to handle that type of money, that type of attention.
So that's my thing. Like, man, I always would cringe when I would see guys, like when I heard the story about Adam Pac-Man Jones going to the strip club taking $80,000 to $100,000 in trash bag. I was blown away. One, because I wasn't able to go to the strip club that day. Two, like man,
you don't know how to be serious.
But I'm dead serious. Like I like, for me, like if you come in that mug with trash bags full of cash, I'm like, bro, like where are your friends at? Like your friends
with him being ignorant.
Like, so that's my point. Like, if these are your partners, if these are your boys, like, dog, you got to get some new friends.
For real.
Like, this is ridiculous. So my thing is, So at no given point in time, did any of your friends say, "Hey man, maybe we don't take this 80,000 to the strip club and blow it"? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, that's crazy. Like, you could take 80 grand. They could at that time, they could have bought several houses in Nashville. Were they in Nashville? He played the Titans. He played the Bengals. He started off with the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
He could have bought several houses in Cincinnati, renovated those houses, and resold them, and could have tripled his investment at that time. Real estate was low. There was a influx of houses available. Like, come on, like you just the buffoonery. Like, to me, we celebrate a lot of buffoonery, and we don't have to. We keep doing it because it's easy. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna pivot. That's not the show. I'm gonna pivot to this next topic, which is, like, to me, the buffoonery at the Oscars has been talked about since.
Come on, man.
No, let's talk about it.
So, like, I need to. That was crazy. Like, I am all for you defending your spouse. I get it. I'm not downplaying his defending his spouse. One, I'll say this, and I say it all the time. I don't think you die from alopecia. Your hair falls out. And at that time, Jada Pinkett Smith had come to terms with having alopecia. She cut her hair off. She made a post on social media, made a statement about it. She was good. She came to grips with it. I don't make excuses for Chris Rock's joke. Like, he even knew the joke was corny. It was a corny joke. But was it getting slapped in the face worthy? Nah, it was a conversation from the seat to the presenter. Like, hey man, that's not funny. Hey man, chill with the jokes of my wife. Or hey man, I need to rap with you backstage or something. But slap in the face.
I'm gonna tell you what I saw.
What'd you see?
I saw a broken man that, I don't want to say he's under the vex of his wife, but that to me was just, he was at his bottom. Like, when he went up there, because you see him chuckle first, then you see him look at her, and it's like a switch went off that said, oh, if I don't do something now, I'm going to have to deal with that when I get home.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yes. And when he went up there, because he didn't even go up there to me with aggression. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, I don't know. It just looked like it was an outer body experience or something. And he looked so broken. And he has been run through the mud with his relationship. And she has made him like a clown over and over over again.
But it's not Jada's fault. I mean, you can't blame her for making him look bad. I mean, it takes two to tango, in my opinion.
You're right, but I'm just saying what it looked like to me. That was, you gave your opinion. I'm giving mine.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, she has ran him through the mud. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. All I saw was he was happy, laughing, like Sheree said, and then the camera switched.
What?
And then next thing you know,
and she rolled them eyes.
Yeah. That's
Because, and I'm trying to see, I want to know if the view, have y'all seen a video from the person that was behind them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, but then she chuckled after that too. Like, that's not okay.
I mean,
I feel like she's kind of manipulative,
very.
But he's also his own person, so he should have known not to go up there and smack that man like that. You know what I'm saying? On national TV.
And we're forgetting one major point.
Chris Rock held it together, because anybody who gets smacked like that, his immediate reaction was to respond differently. The fact that he held it and was just like, oh wow, and everybody was like, oh, Chris Rock was a punk. No, Chris Rock knew.
Yeah.
I think them dollar signs went through his head and was like, you know what, I can't mess this up. I'm just go ahead and take this and keep going with it. But
technically, so I hear what you're saying, and I respect your opinion. I'm not debating your opinion, but I don't think. But when I look at Chris Rock, and I've listened to Chris Rock's his shows, his commentary, his shows, his comedy shows. He's not a very aggressive person. He's not a person. He doesn't talk about fighting, and he doesn't talk about. He doesn't like to me. He doesn't come across as a person that would, that if you hit him, he would fight back. He doesn't seem like a threat. That's what I'm looking for. He doesn't seem like an aggressive, threatening person. His brother Tony now, different story. Like he seems a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in your face. Like if you hit him, he's gonna definitely hit you back. But it's a joke. If you can't take a joke, then don't sit in the front row of an award show.
Front row.
Yeah.
Good seats.
Great. And then 2, don't be in the public eye. Don't be a celebrity. Don't be a politician. None of that. Because
you're gonna get talked about.
It's a part of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm a high school football coach. I've been in games where people I sit in the press box. So I sit there and I get, parents are ridiculing us. I can see them and they can see me looking at them. And I'm like, I can see you, right? And I can see you. And we got to sit there and take it. Like, it's not like I'm gonna come out the press box and slap somebody because they saying we need to double cover the receiver. It's a game. Like, it's the game. It is. Yeah. It's a part of the game. You got to be able to have thick skin. Like, you got to be able to, take the ridicules. You got to be able to take it. You ain't got to dish it back out, but you got to be able to say, hey, look, man, I appreciate your opinion. I appreciate your point. Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think The Rock would have got smacked if he was hosting the Oscars?
No. He didn't pose a threat.
I'm saying The Rock making that same joke.
No, he doesn't get slapped. No.
Yeah.
No. The Rock
and to your point, that's what I'm saying. Like saying Chris Rock's not really a confrontational guy. So I feel like Will knew he was gonna get away with it.
Yeah.
But also these are 2 professional actors.
Yeah.
This is Hollywood. The ratings were low.
I didn't even know the Oscars was on until I heard about the story.
Exactly. Nobody is watching it anymore. And then you get ticket sales going up. Even Will, you know what I'm saying? He's getting crazy publicity. Like, no publicity is bad publicity if you know how to swing it. And I'm sure he got some bomb publicists, you know what I'm saying, on the squad. So we also got to look at that. Like, it was, because they selling it good, but was this just something to get the attention back on the Oscars? Because, go ahead.
I was going to say, the one thing we forget about, too, like, this was the first Black producer for the Oscars. This was a Will Packer production.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, like, you wouldn't have smacked somebody in the white when the white producer didn't do the Oscars. Like, what's the difference? But and then it was 3 women. It was the first time 3 women hosted the Oscars.
Yeah.
So but I just think there was just so much.
But then you weren't too distraught because you went to the after party afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah, man, you won an Oscar by that time too. So that took place.
Yeah.
So,
but it took attention a lot. Like you said, like 3 women hosting the Oscars. Samuel finally getting an Oscar. Like, it took away from a lot of amazing things happening. And there. So it was pretty crazy, man.
It was
real. Huh?
And then Will Smith got an Oscar.
Yeah, he even got an Oscar, but nobody's talking about that. Well, unless
they weren't. They were talking about the
cheers
afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, that speech was, crazy after. Yeah.
But you didn't apologize to the guy you hit. You just apologized to the Academy
that you then resigned from.
Yeah, he did. I saw that. I heard he resigned. Yeah, he resigned from the Academy.
Yep.
So
it's crazy.
So him resigning from the Academy, does that mean he can't make any more movies? He can make movies, sure, right?
But I don't think they'll be able to be like going considered up for awards, right?
Yeah, they won't be considered for that award anymore. But he can still make movies. Yeah, he can still make movies for sure.
Okay. So with that, we're off that buffoonery and on to something else. Man, it's funny because it's like after that happened, I went to Instagram, and in the shade room, they had 1.9 million views on that video of that incident, and it was 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow,
well, I was one of them views because I had to see it because I didn't know the Oscars were going on. I was like, what is everybody talking about?
Yeah, so I watched it. I mean, I watched it in the start of it. It was kind of dry towards the middle. And then my frat brothers and I, we were texting each other, and one of them said, "Oh my God, Will Smith just punched Chris Rock." I'm like, man, stop playing. And he's like, no, it's for real. P. Diddy. He said, Sean Combs just got on stage and made a statement about it. I'm like, what? So I went to my Hulu.
And look, and there go the views of the Oscars going up right there.
There it is.
Skyrocketed from there.
Yep. Didn't watch the whole thing. Watched it from the end. But, desperate times come from desperate measures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, I mean, the reaction from some of the other stars in the crowd, they were just laughing at it. And, it's like.
Yeah. When he was hollering from the seat, that's when you started realizing that it was real.
Yeah.
So with that statement, we're gonna pivot to another topic.
Okay.
But this deals with going back to athletics. So Buick has been sponsoring a push to get more attention to female athletics. Being a former basketball player, tell me what's your thoughts. I'm talking to you, Sharice, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking to me. We need the money. Okay,
Okay.
No, so
right.
Female athletics don't get the same love. Look at the NBA versus the WNBA.
Right, I get it.
These are like professional people who are playing the sport, and because I am still just so baffled about like the whole Brittany Griner situation. Because if that was
any NBA player,
any of them,
even a bench player, he'd have been out.
Or the president would have been over there trying to get him
right now.
Yeah.
In the midst of a war, they were going to get him.
Yeah. Will LeBron be in there right now? It's strike.
And then it's just like disparity in like it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think Buick sponsoring and making a push to get more attention to female sports is actually pretty cool. I think that it should have been more equitable. I think with Title IX, it should have been more resources allocated to female sports. And I agree. I think that they definitely need more attention, more TV time, and anything. Because it's like, say, you'll see some sports, like volleyball doesn't get a lot of TV time, and neither does, like, softball does, but, track and field does, but, track and field is a combined men and women's sport. But
I even look at, like, during, like, I would rather watch a WNBA game than see the cowboy people wrangling, rodeo stuff on TV. And, like, at any given time, like, you scroll through channels, you're like, dang, is there nothing else on?
Yeah. Because I know for a lot of times that cornhole championship was on. I was like, this is not entertainment.
Yeah.
But I think that, again, with those sports, it's good to have the fact that they are giving more attention to those female sports, and with social media. To me, I was listening to a podcast on the radio coming back from church, and they were talking about how most female athletes they're up for the fight. They weren't trying to take shots at the male athletes, but they were just saying, hey, the female athletes, they knew they were going to be up for that fight, and they were going to have to fight for their equality, the equitability. To another big word out there, the equitability. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, cool. But, you know, I want to get a former athlete's opinion.
But it is also, you know, why is it that the women are playing overseas? It's because they're needing the additional money.
They get paid way more overseas than they do here.
They do here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think
Buick
was in Russia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool that Buick is stepping up and doing that, but I think it's going to take a lot more than Buick. I think it should be like, you know what I'm saying, way more people trying to get involved. They should have the NBA players and the organization playing a bigger part in pushing the WNBA because they deserve it. Like, it's like you got a little boy that's grinding all his life to go to the NBA and reach his dreams, and boom, like everything he could imagine comes true. He's getting the money, all that stuff, sponsors, and then this little girl grinding just as hard. Mm-hmm. She make it, but now my dream comes with having to, you know what I'm saying, do a lot more to maintain, because like
to make a lot less.
Getting that. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's fair, you know, and especially
I agree.
These women are balling. It's not like they can't play. Like, they balling. I mean, nasty. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely deserve the attention. Like,
So one of the things I learned when I was when I first started coaching basketball, it was like, hey, you know, you really want to watch basketball and learn the fundamentals and learn.
Watch a female game.
Yeah.
Right. Watch a female game. That's because they run today. Nobody's going out and running like they're not running a fast break offense. They're running but they do have fast break offenses. But you'll see the set offenses. You'll see the passes. You'll see the 2-3 zones. You'll see the 1-3-1. You'll see the man with the motion offense. You'll see all those intricate things play out. And in seeing all that play out, now you're like, oh, I get it.
But I mean,
everybody clears.
But even as someone who coached, and I'll even go to just coaching, not even school ball when we coach together, Jason. Mm-hmm. Going to rec league and being the only female coach coaching in my age group, and guys get mad at the end of the game because we beat them with fundamentals. Like, they're like, your kids do that? Yeah, that's what my parents know from the beginning. Your kid is not going to the league tomorrow. But for them to be able to get to the next level, they're gonna understand, like you said, what zone offense is, what man to man, what it looks like to beat, and
right.
And we got plays in there, and they're so cute. They're calling out plays. Yeah, we're doing all of that, but they're understanding how to dribble, and what a good jump stop is, and we're doing bounce passes, and all of that stuff, because you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
and that's the good thing about fun. That's what, and to me, rec leagues should be coaching the fundamentals instead of coming out trying to run the diamond offense. And I'm like, hey man, why don't we just learn to pass the ball? Mm-hmm. Like, I coach Little League baseball. I'm like, hey man, the first thing about baseball is you got to learn the positions. And like, if you got, I'm not gonna call this coach's name, but I sure hope he sees this too. If you have like 3 and 4 guys in the infield standing by the pitcher's mound, like, bro, that is not baseball, and it is not safe. If you got a pitcher, a guy on the other side of the pitcher, and somebody behind them, like, bro, that's not baseball. Like, you're setting these kids up for failure. Who cares who wins the game, as long as the young people learn how to swing the bat, hit the ball, catch the ball, and throw the ball, and learn the rules of the game.
Definitely. My goal was that, were you a better player by the end of the season than you were when you started the season? Facts.
That's big facts right there. To me, that is all that matters. But you get these coaches that they care about these championships, but no championship, and like, there ain't no banners. Nobody cares. Nobody remembers. Like, I can't tell you who won the championship 3 years ago. I don't know. I know that every player that played went on. They kept playing baseball. They got better. They had a foundation to build from, and they kept growing from there. That was my goal. My goal was to introduce them to the sport, give them a solid foundation. All right, get on.
Yeah.
But I don't care if you throw a curveball. I don't care if all I want you to do is be able to catch, better than you caught when you first got there. And if you couldn't catch, I want you to be able to catch the ball. You couldn't hit, I want you to be able to hit the ball. Run the bases the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go in the right direction.
And you don't slide in the first. Don't slide.
Slide in the first, yeah.
Don't slide in the first, yeah.
Yeah, don't slide in the first and don't overrun second or third.
Right. Because you're good and out. Because you're going to get caught.
Absolutely.
If you overrun second, hey, man, just keep running because they're not going to catch. They obviously, they're running behind you. Just keep running. So, man, but that's me. I just can't stand bad coaching, and I can't stand somebody's desire to win the game more than teach the players. At the end of the day,
I saw a slide in the first in college softball. Tore our first baseman play face up.
Yeah, you can slide in the first if you want to. I mean, it's not advised if you're gonna be safe, but you just kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you safe, hey.
And I think it threw because we had taken our pitcher off the mound and put her at first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was probably like 2 pitches later, and a person slid straight into her face.
Yeah, terrible.
It's a bad situation.
Oh, it was. Oh, it was so bad, bad.
But see, that's the next thing too. Like, you can catch, like, if you catch the ball at first, just catch the ball, tap the base, and get off. You ain't got to tag the person. Get off the base, and then like,
I think it was the ball placement.
Yeah.
It was the ball placement. So it was one of those like, and when we saw it happen too, when we saw her go ahead and drop down for that slide, we're like, this is not going to end well.
But I think
there's some decisions though, you know. Do I need to go for this ball right now?
and technically, if the ball is coming and she's sliding, hey, man, let that ball hit her. She'll be all right. She got a helmet on.
Yeah.
All you want to do is you just don't want the ball to go past her, because technically the ball is low and it hits her. Hey, she's not out. She's gonna be safe, but she's gonna get a nice little right here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I go back to fundamental. I think that's more important than anything else. Just being disciplined, just being aware, just being there for the children.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have a third pivot. I don't have another pivot.
You don't have another pivot?
Another pivot?
Oh, okay.
All right. I thought you had all the pivots. You know?
And we were following you. We were going right with you.
Yeah. I don't have another pivot to go through today.
But you had like a bulletin board in front of you with all your points. So,
No.
You were leading this conversation.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm just trying to facilitate, man. So keep just like this locker room chat keep going, like keep it closed.
So, because this is going to air after the championship game, we're going back to. I have Kansas. Jason, who do you have?
I got to go with Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know who I'm going for.
Michael, go ahead and say it, because I will cut you off. I'll the whole hour. Who you going for?
UNC all day.
Okay.
All day.
Who you got? Who you got in the women's championship?
South Carolina. Don Staley.
Yeah.
Who you
South
got,
Carolina. I got South Carolina. We on the same. We all on one accord, I think, with that one.
Yeah. I one thing I will say about Don Staley that I really liked to hear was when she won, I think it's like the Naismith Coach of the Year award. She brought her whole staff in to take a picture with the trophy. Not only that, South Carolina paid her, and I think she got paid more than some male coaches got. She got a whopping contract this past year.
Oh yeah, her contract has been extended. She is making beautiful dollars right now.
That's what's up,
and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, she turned that South Carolina program around. Like I've watched, I remember Don Staley as a player, and I've always thought she was a pretty good player. But when she started coaching, I was like, she's gonna make some noise, and she did.
And they respect her. I'm ready to see like where Bostic is gonna go. She's gonna go to the WNBA. Boston. What's her last name? Was it Boston? Boston, yeah. And there's one more.
I want to see my girl Lily ball. That's what I want to see.
She she came after an injury. That's the thing. I remember when she weighed all of 110 pounds playing for me. in middle school. And she was my only ball player, and she had to play all 5 positions. And she did because she's the only one on the court who understood basketball.
Her 8th grade year, she was a lot better. I'm not gonna say better. Her 7th grade year, she had Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kelsey with her. So she had a ball handler, so they could kind of
She had to lead my team her 8th grade year.
She was a team. There were games she scored all the points, all of them. The box score would be man.
Yeah, I was there. You ain't got to tell me.
I'll tell Mike.
Oh.
You telling me. I wasn't there.
I was there.
Michael wasn't.
No, yeah. It was 9 against 1. 8 against 2. But we had like one, you know how you had a possible in the hand of spades?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's like some of these girls look like they had never touched a basketball before. And I'm like, okay, we got to make it through a season.
Man.
And they did a lot better than I thought. But because why? Because practice was fundamentals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Practice was fundamentals.
Lily came in that mug and scored. I think she might have scored like 39 or 45 points in one game. I was like, wow. So I'm looking. You look at the box scores because sometimes we had to share the book.
Yeah.
You look at the box score. Middle school sports, all you got athletics. So you look at the box.
Look, he keeps a book for my games. I keep the book for his games.
Yeah. You look at the stat sheet. You looking like, man, she scored all the points. Hey man, it was a game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a game.
So it was good to see her. It's just her last year.
Is this her last year?
She graduated already.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a 5th year senior.
Uh-huh.
So but she should have an extra year for COVID. You don't know, huh? I think she's got an extra year.
Okay.
Yeah, because this was unless this was her COVID year, which I don't think that's not what I don't think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, this is her 5th. This would be her 5th year playing. She's a grad student.
Right, but they get another year because of the COVID year.
I thought you only got 4 years to play then.
Right, but when COVID hit, they gave them all another year. So she had
because the seasons ended early and everything.
Gotcha.
Because remember that the women didn't have a basketball NCAA champion in that year.
You're right, because everything got shut down in March.
You know, they shut the tournament down and everything.
Because I was supposed to be working the tournament. I remember that.
Yeah, they were talking about how Villanova had a good squad that year. They might have gone and won the tournament that year.
Yeah, so of course, she's always who I'm rooting for. Her burn hasn't been good lately though.
We'll see what happens next year. She comes
coming
back
off the bench. Yeah. She had an injury though at the end of the season last year. She was in a boot.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah. Her graduation pictures are taken with a boot on.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
You got a graduation picture?
I mean, on her Instagram. When we send it to you?
I follow her now.
now you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm excited about the week. We're gonna see.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna call you after the game. Don't worry.
That's fine. I'll be up. I don't have to be at work Tuesday until till noon. So that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can call. I will be up.
Okay.
And when y'all lose, I may call you first.
You can't say you but David got to get a ring.
Yeah, he was about to get the ring. That's already set in stone.
Yeah, he got to get this ring.
Okay, that's how y'all feel. That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my cousin. He
You're right
for the fam
for today.
Yeah. Well, up until after the championship.
Right.
I got a couple days.
Right. The championship game. Right. Today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. So is this when? So I got to give the what you call it?
This is your inspirational word. You're due.
You ready?
Yeah.
You already got something?
The prayer from church.
So I don't. So this is what I got. This is what I got. I would call my sister and talk to her on the phone some days, and sometimes I would get her voicemail. And when you get her voicemail, she goes through this long spiel on her voicemail. But at the end of it, she says, "Have an amazing day on purpose." And so I would tell folks, "Have an amazing day on purpose." That is my inspirational word. Don't let negativity ruin your day. Don't say, "I'm having a bad day." I'm having a moment, but it's going to get better. And you have to speak and you have to affirm positivity, because through positivity comes positive results. You got to believe it's going to get better so that it will get better. You have to manifest that in your life, within you, so that it moves out of you.
Hey man, that's that was heat. That was that heat.
That was. But I feel like you were able to prepare for that.
No, that's the word. I got, man.
That was smooth. I like that.
Good. I
like that. A lot.
I always just say, like, she always says on voicemail, have a great day on purpose. Have an amazing day on purpose. I'm like, use that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
On that note, we done.
Guess I can take us out of here.
Go ahead, Michael.
All right. Well, if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and continue to follow us on this journey. If you've been rocking with us so far, keep on keeping on, because we have a lot more amazing episodes to come. We are DTR Incorporated, a nonprofit organization geared toward uplifting, inspiring, and empowering communities all over the world. I'd like to thank my two amazing co-hosts, Ms. Sharice Levitt and Mr. Jason Redmond.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, our goal is not to be better than anybody, but together we can achieve better for everybody. Thank you, and have a good night. Peace.
We're going to try to segue all those things into that regarding the
school. They knew what fraternities you were in.
Definitely wasn't an easy decision. I sat down with my dad.